What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down how you can gain weight this off season. So I hope this video helps you guys out. We're going to be talking about some specific things that you guys can do as football players to put on size the healthy and correct way this year. And also, fellas, if you play the wide receiver position and you guys would like a daily training schedule that you could follow for the entire off season with all the gym exercises you need to be doing to improve your overall skills, check out that very first link in the description below for our 16-week wide receiver gym workout plan. It's a 4-month daily schedule with the exact exercise mapped out with sets, reps, and examples of each one. So check out that very first link below if you're interested. Let's get started with this video. So let's start out with why you need to gain weight. So it's a common thing, especially, if you're a younger guy, you're a younger football player, you hear it all the time. You need to put on size. You need to put on weight. You need to get bigger. You need to be heavier. Why are all of those important? And it's important because football is an extremely violent game. So let's watch this clip here from DK Metcalf. Now, this is probably best case scenario. Coming over the middle, gets hit, but obviously you see this defender bounces off of DK like it's nothing. Now, DK is an insane human being. He is built like a truck. He runs a 4.40, probably faster than that. He's a freak athlete, right? But you see the type of hits, especially at the NFL level, that these guys are going to be taking. The reason why there's such a stress for gaining weight, putting on muscle mass, is because these types of hits are going to happen. The football, the NFL, they've done better jobs by trying to protect defenseless players. Obviously, you're not going to get popped in the head anymore. That's a flag, but you're still going to take some shots. We play a very, very violent game, and your body needs to be able to have some size to it to be able to withstand those hits. Now, another thing, I'm going to play a second example here. There's a quarterback example, running downfield, running high, gets popped, and honestly, he just kind of ran into this guy. Ramsey just lowers his shoulder. Yeah, maybe it's a late hit. He's out of bounds. That probably should be a flag. But like I said, these are the types of hits that we are going to be taking when we play football. So now, I want to make this very clear. If you're a high school guy, and let's say you're a receiver, you're a quarterback, you're a running back, whatever, and you're trying to play college football, a college coach is going to want you to gain weight. Like, let's say you meet him, you have a great highlight tape, you're very talented. Let's say you meet him and he's telling you, hey, you need to put on some weight. Don't be so concerned with a specific number. Right? Because when you get to college, I think anybody that's ever played college football, anybody that's played college sports in general knows that when you get to that level, they're going to put weight on you. Right? And we're going to talk about some ways that you can put on weight in a second here with some exercises, some diet tips that you guys can use. But I want to make sure you guys understand this first. You look at the best recruit that came out of the class this year, Travis Hunter, right? Probably 165 pounds, 6'4". I'm not confident that he could probably take that hit from Jalen Ramsey. But he still was a 5-star recruit, went to Jackson State, probably could have gone any school that he wanted to, Alabama, Georgia, anything, right? So, again, they want good football players. When you get to college, they will put weight on you. I've heard stories where guys, this is something that I've had to do as well, where you're trying to gain weight, and obviously you're in college and you're on a meal plan, right? So, let's say, for example, in the morning, for breakfast, your meal plan states that you're going to have 4 eggs, a piece of toast, some oatmeal, and a banana, right? What they would make me do is have 2 of that. So instead of 4 eggs, a piece of toast, oatmeal, and a banana, I would have 8 eggs, 2 pieces of toast, 2 bananas, and 2 things of oatmeal. So they're going to put weight on you, and they have methods that work. Now, was that probably the healthiest thing to do? Not saying, I'm not recommending that, because that was a living hell. But it's good. They're going to put weight on you. They have the right workout plans for you. They have the right meal plans for you. So don't be so concerned with an exact number. But now I say this, but you still want to be able to stand out to a college coach. And you passing the eye test is not only your height, but also your size. If you look like a football player, that's one less thing that they have to worry about for you when you get to that next level. So what are some of the things that you can do? Because again, we discussed it. This is why you need to put on weight. We play a violent game. If it was flag football, it wouldn't matter. But we play tackle football, 11-on-11 pads. Guys are trying to kill us. Those guys on the other side of the ball are absolute savages. They're trying to hurt us pretty much and injure us. That's just fact of the matter how it is, right? And that's the mindset that those guys have. And I would want my defensive guys on my own team to have that same type of mindset. Now, you don't want to hurt anybody and go for their knee, but you're trying to give them a pop anytime that you can get, because that's just how it is. That's how the game is played. Nobody talks about that, but that's how the game is played. So what are some things that you can do to get bigger? Now, I say this, we're going to talk about some things in a second here as well that are going to help you maintain speed. Because obviously playing football is a game where you got to be big, you got to have size, but you also got to have speed. You got to have a mixture of both. So a lot of guys, what they're afraid of is if they try to gain weight in the offseason, am I going to slow down? Am I not going to be as fast as what I was? And that's not the case if you do things correctly. So this is an example. We're going to show two examples of Saquon Barkley lifting. So this is him squatting a ton of weight. I think this was 500 plus pounds, and he's doing this for reps. I'm pretty sure he kept going on this and hit this for about 3 or 4 reps. So lifting heavy, doing those big, like kind of power building lifts are what's going to put size on you. So my personal favorite, I think all athletes, especially like what our audience is, quarterbacks and wide receivers, a lot of them have very, very skinny legs. And that's a big, big place for us to develop and to put size on. So doing squats is a great exercise that you can do to build mass. Obviously lifting heavier, obviously doing not only squats, but also exercises other than squats, supersetting exercises to get a better pump, to get more blood flow, to put on more size. So maybe you're doing heavy squats and then you also superset that with like split squats if you're a wide receiver, or single leg squats if you're a quarterback, heel elevated like goblet squats. All of those things can help you build that size to your legs, but you need to make sure that we're not neglecting my core lifts like squats, because that will help you with strength, but that will also help you put on muscle mass. Now, when I'm doing those core lifts, I think that football players a lot of times worry about the front too much rather than the back. And what I mean by that is like your front, yeah, it's how you look good, bench press, core, curls, all of those things. I get it. Don't get me wrong. I understand. But that's not what gets you paid, right? What gets you paid is the back. You got to get a bigger back. You have to get bigger legs. So exercises that are going to put on size here and here is what you want to try to emphasize when you're trying to gain weight, so you can stay athletic as well. You don't want to just be doing curls and bench press and trying to look like a bodybuilder, because then you're not going to be benefiting yourself athletically as well. Your size should come from your legs and your back. Okay, now, I say this, you can't neglect your chest, can't neglect your core. Your core is extremely important, but just know that those aren't probably the best exercises to put size on you, okay? Now, I'm going to show this next example of Saquon Barkley. What is he doing here? He's going to be doing power cleans. So this is a very explosive movement that's in the name, power cleans, right? So when he's doing this clean, why is he doing this? Why is this a big football lift right here? Because this power clean is what's going to help you on the field. You're trying to be as explosive as possible on a movement, snatch the bar up, drop underneath that thing, and move with as much power and force as you can. This exercise is not going to get you bigger. It'll get you stronger for sure, but it's mostly going to help you with power and explosion, which directly translates to on-field play. Now, Saquon Barkley, he's a running back, right? He can't, running backs take a beating, right? And that's the very first thing that we talked about in the beginning of this video. Why do we want to gain weight? Because we take a beating playing football. Coming over the middle, you take a pop. You're in the pocket like a quarterback, you get hit. You're a running back, you're getting hit pretty much every time you have the ball. So you take a beating, so you need size, but you can't be slow and play running back, because then they're going to move you to fullback, and let's be honest, not a lot of people use those anymore. So you need to have speed and explosion. And that's what these exercises help with. Power cleans, box jumps, jumping squats. Anything explosive, fellas, is also going to translate. So you have to be able to mix those both in if you don't want to lose speed while you're putting weight on this offseason. You want to be able to gain weight, do those core lifts, let's build up that backside, but also be able to develop those fast twitch muscle fibers, build that explosion, so we maintain what I had beforehand when trying to gain weight on the field. Now, let's talk about the diet a little bit real quick. I really can't show you a clip for the diet because we're just going to talk about eating, but I'm not a diet expert. One of the things that I saw a lot of benefit with, a ton of benefit, was trying to increase my protein intake. So what protein does is, and if you guys have a question on a good protein powder that you could get on, because protein powder definitely helps, post that in the comment section below and I'll send you a link to a protein powder that I really, really recommend. It's healthy too. It's easy on the stomach as well. But what I recommend is trying to up the protein intake. So when you're working out as a football player, obviously when you're trying to gain weight in the off season, you got to go to the gym, right? You have to go to the gym, but you can't neglect field stuff. Like let's say, for example, you're a wide receiver, you're a sophomore in high school, you're trying to play on varsity. So but you got to get better with skills as well. So you got to gain weight. So you got to be in the gym, but you also got to work on your field work. So there are a lot of days where you're maybe doing 2 workouts. Your body is going to break down. There are things in your body called muscle fibers and muscle tissue, right? So if you keep working out constantly, just grinding it out, and this is a mistake that I made as well, because I was a work ethic guy. I'm working out 2-3 times a day because I'm going to do whatever it takes to get better. I'm smaller. I don't weigh a lot. I got to outwork everybody. But if you're doing that and not taking care of your body properly, your body's never going to grow. So if you're constantly just wearing down your muscles, you're sore all the time, you're tired, all this stuff, and you're not recovering properly, you will never grow and gain weight. So protein powder help, and intake, and not just so much protein powder, but protein in general, helps you repair those micro tears in your muscles. So you consuming protein will help you repair the breakdown of that tissue that you've gotten from working out. Because every time you work out, let's just say you're doing a squat. When you do a squat and you pop up on the squat, there's a micro tear in your leg. That's why it burns. But you having protein will help you refuel. So when you're trying to gain weight, a good thing that I saw a lot of results with was trying to consume 1 to 1.2 grams of protein per pound of body weight. So let's say you weigh 160 pounds. You're trying to get to 175. You should be consuming 160 to 175 grams of protein a day. Now, that might seem like a ton for you guys, but you just got to map it out. What do you eat for breakfast? If you're not eating any protein at breakfast, you're already setting yourself behind. If you don't have a snack in the middle of the day that has protein in it, you're behind. You don't, obviously, lunch and dinner, you need protein. You need a snack in between those 2 meals as well. And then maybe 2 protein shakes a day that are both 20, 30 grams, maybe 25, 30 grams. You should be able to get there. It's just you have to map it out and you have to be disciplined. The eating part is all about discipline. It's not hard, fellas. It's just the discipline is what's hard. To do it is not hard. The discipline is what's hard. So that's what I would recommend in terms of eating wise, but you have to be combining that with all the things that we talked about in this video. All right, fellas, really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. Always appreciate the feedback. It's always great to hear from you guys. And again, fellas, if you would like a 4-month wide receiver gym workout schedule, if you play the wide receiver position, check out that very first link in the description below. I'll see you guys next time.